Hi everybody, it's Joe Krug from Finsweet. In this video, we're going over the Finsweet CMS library for Webflow. We're in the live example going through the Add Classes component. Let's look at adding a very unique and custom layout inside the same dynamic list. This is example 2. If you have not seen example 1, I recommend you check that out before you go into this example 2. I go through in a lot more detail how this works and how it's set up. This is more of an advanced step 2, level 2 type layout. Let's see what we're going to do here. We have our normal dynamic list on the page. As you can see, normal dynamic list. We have our important collection list class applied. And then we have our static structure. This is what we're going for. We're going to turn that dynamic list into this totally wacky and different layout. Let's look at the published site and see this working. And here we go. This is the dynamic list. It is Webflow CMS based. We have our sticky, we have our different structure, our different layout, and it's totally working. Cool. Now let's go back into Designer, see how we've added these classes, and then we're jumping into custom code. Let's check out these add-on classes. We are going to have 4 distinct arrays, 4 distinct lists of different classes to add to every 4th item inside the dynamic list. The first, we have collection list item, add classes with the add-on class of 2/3. This one is collection list item, add classes 1/3. This one is collection list item 1/3 and collection list item, add classes 2/3. We're also going to be adding item, content, add classes with an add-on class of sticky. And the same thing down here, item, content, add class, sticky. We are going to be adding these classes in 4 different arrays to create this structure. And you can see on that published site, it's not just the first 4. It's going to happen if we have 100 items on the page, where every 4th item gets this special class array. Let's jump into the code, see how it works. Let's look at this custom code. First, I know that it looks like a lot of code, but it's really not that much. It's all doing the same type of thing. All you have to do is understand this much and you understand all of it. If you have not seen example 1, please check it out first and then jump into this custom code. All right, let's do this. Before the closing body tag, we are going to add our Finsweet CMS library script. As you can see, this is not the real script file. When we launch, we will have a hosted file for you. And the first thing we do is run our function. We're going to create that new instance of our library. It's targeted at the collection list, and we're storing that in a variable called projects grid. Projects grid is going to be used throughout all of this code. Here we have projects grid, projects grid, projects grid, and so on. Every time we are running a unique array of classes to add, we're going to be adding it to the projects grid. This is our collection list wrapper. It's all part of the same collection list. We are going to be creating 4 different arrays. Those 4 arrays will be added to every 4th item. So here we have our first array that's going to start at 1. Here's our second array that's going to start at 2. Here's our third array that's going to start at 3, and our 4th array, which will start at 4. Notice how all of them had a frequency of 4 because these classes will be added every 4th item. And we have 4 unique structures, and then those 4 structures will be added for every single item inside the list. Okay, let's do this. Here we have our first array. It's called 2/3 first. It is creating a 2/3 structure, 2/3 size layout, and it's the first one that we are working with. It's not that 4th one. So if I go to this live example, here it's the first one. This is what we're defining in this first. It looks just like the 4th, but it's not the 4th, it's the first. And the reason is we need to create some type of iteration, and because of that, it is just focusing on this first one. We're going to target the collection list item add classes, and we're going to give an add-on class of 2/3. We're also going to be targeting the item content add class, and we're going to add sticky to it. Targeting this, adding 2/3 to it. We're targeting this, we're adding sticky to it. And that is exactly how this is created. Great, so we have our 2/3 first array. We are going to define that here in the class array. We have our projects grid from above. We're running add classes. It's got the class array, frequency of 4 starting on that first one. Great, first one done. We're gonna do the same process for 2, 3, and 4. 1/3 first, we're targeting, we're adding 1/3. We're going to start at 2 with a frequency of 4. We're using this same array that we created here. Then we go to the 1/3 second. So let me just back up. I'll show this actually working. The 1/3 first. This is 1/3 of the size, and it's the first one. And then we're doing the 1/3 second. This is that same 1/3 structure. We're doing the same thing here. It's the same exact array, but we are defining it here with a start of 3, so that it's starting in the list at 3. Every 4 items, it's going to add that same class structure. Nice. And now we have the third one done. So 1 is done, 2 is done, 3 is done, and now we need to go to 4. 4 also has the same classes as this first one. It's the same array, but we are going to use it differently here down below. We are going to start at 4. So we have this 2/3 second. We're starting at 4. Now, this code is written in this way to show you that you can create different arrays and apply those different arrays inside different start and frequencies. This is extremely powerful. You can do this with interactions, with colors, with shapes, with layouts, anything. If you do understand JavaScript, you understand this array structure, we don't have to create the same array twice. So if you don't care about this next part, if you're just trying to implement this, see how it works, you're done. You can close this video. For people that are trying to optimize their code, this code can be optimized a step further. So let's imagine this 2/3 first. It's the same array here, so we can actually use 2/3 first right here, and in this same structure, we can actually use this right here, and we can go and remove this. And we can go and remove this second one here. So nice and nice. And there we go. So like I said, I was showing 4 different arrays here to show you that you can have 4 totally different structures, totally different layouts every 4th item. But if you are doing this exactly, this is how I would implement it. I would have just 2 arrays. It's the same thing. And then we are defining those arrays in these different starts and frequencies. That is how you create this super advanced layout inside the same dynamic list. You can have fun with this. This is a simple example of what you can do in terms of layout, structure, interactions, whatever. Have fun with this one. Send us some examples of what you're doing similar to this. We'd love to see them.
That's effing sweet.